Hello everyone! Did you know you can grow your onions right at home, no matter where you live, even in a tiny space like what I'm about to show you? Whether you are looking for fresh onions to spice up your cooking, or you want to experiment like me, or you just want to save on grocery cost, I'm here to show you how it is done. Stay tuned as I guide you from seed to harvest to curing and storage in a few minutes. By the way, onion is one of the easiest vegetables to grow. The first step to success is selecting the right onion variety for your region. Onions are classified as short day, long day and intermediate day types. If you live in the southern part of Nigeria, for instance, short day onions are your best bet. They require just about 10 to 12 hours of sunlight to form bulbs. But if you live somewhere in the northern part, go for long day onions that thrive with 14 to 16 hours of sunlight. And if you are not sure, intermediate day onions are your all-rounder. You can grow onions from seeds, set or transplant. But for this tutorial, we'll be using seeds. So to prepare the nursery for planting, use a mixture of cocoa peat and aged manure. Combine these two thoroughly and fill the seed trays, ensuring to level off any excess. Next, create small holes using a stick or simply use your fingers. Into each hole, carefully drop one seed. Cover it lightly and water thoroughly. This variety of onion that we are using for this tutorial is medium size when mature. You can pick any size that you want. There are many varieties and there are many colors. After about 4 weeks, the seedlings are ready for transplanting. They are about the length of a pencil and have up to 4 leaves. If removing seedlings from the tray proves challenging, gently tilt the tray to release them without damaging the roots. I decided to conduct an experiment to determine whether onions would thrive in the southeast of Nigeria and then in this little space. This design is part of my flower bed which has relatively shallow soil. So to illustrate this, let's measure the depth using a pen. I just want to show you the depth of this space that we'll be using. Apparently, it is only about 2/3 of its length. At the end of this video, you will understand that onions don't necessarily require deep soil to grow. What matters most is soil fertility. To plant, loosen the soil, incorporate some aged manure, water well and plant the seedlings. Water the soil immediately after transplanting to help the seedlings establish. Interestingly, I planted the onions close together for 2 reasons. First, to experiment, and second, to enjoy early harvesting. Onions can be used at any stage after transplanting, which makes this approach practical. I harvested them from time to time to give more space for others. So when it comes to fertilization, I rely on an organic foliar fertilizer that is rich in nitrogen. This fertilizer contains 18% nitrogen, 6% of phosphorus and potassium. Here I am measuring 5 ml of the fertilizer to 2 liters of water, and I apply this twice a week. Additionally, I supplement the soil with aged manure every 2 weeks to ensure steady nutrient supply. You don't want to leave the plants begging for food. Water deeply depending on the weather, but do not overwater to avoid root rot. Keeping the planting area weed-free is crucial for effective pest management. Thankfully, during the course of this experiment, I did not encounter any pest issues during this growth period, and the onions remained healthy. However, for those who do face pests, neem oil is an excellent organic solution. And then again, practicing crop rotation can also help prevent infestations. It is 90 days now and the onions are ready for harvest. Onions can be harvested even when their tops are still green, like you can see here. I personally enjoy harvesting them at this stage because the greens are still fresh and juicy. This is my favorite time of using onions. In fact, if I had my way, I would leave all of them this fresh until they are all gone, but I needed to leave some of them for this tutorial. Alternatively, you can choose to allow them mature fully and dry out, which increases their shelf life. Both methods offer their own advantages depending on your need. So now, how do you tell when your onions are ready for harvest? The first big clue is in the tops. Look for green stalks that are starting to turn yellow and fall over naturally. This signals that the onion bulbs are fully mature and that it is no longer taking up nutrient from the soil. Now, you need to know that timing is essential for a good harvest. If you leave onions in the ground for too long after they are mature, the bulbs can start to rot, especially in wet season. Ideally, you should plan to harvest your onions on a dry day to prevent any excess moisture from getting into the bulb, as this can affect the curing process. Prior to the time you will harvest your onions, try to leave them for about 2 weeks without watering. This will help them to last longer. Once you've pulled up all your onions, lay them out in a single layer for an initial drying step like what I am doing. This helps to get rid of any excess moisture before curing. Leave them here for 2 to 3 days, then move them to a well-ventilated area like a garage, a basement or a store. For this tutorial, I left them in the store because it is well ventilated. Now it's been 2 weeks since and the onions are cured. You can see that the tops and the outer layers have become dry and peppery, sealing in the onion's natural flavor and freshness. Once curing is complete, it's time to prepare your onions for storage. Trim the tops down to about an inch or two above the bulb and also cut off the roots. This step not only makes them neater, but it also prevents any remaining moisture from affecting other onions in storage. So this is how you grow your onions from seed to harvest, curing, and then to storage. If you enjoyed this guide, please like this video and subscribe for more gardening tips. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.